Morning, everyone. Welcome to the December 1st edition of ToloTalks, Rod Style Actuators Part 1. We hope everyone had a very safe and happy Thanksgiving holiday. Thanks for joining us this morning to talk about Tolomatic product. My name is Bob Chunko. I'm the Senior Regional Sales Manager, Western United States for Tolomatic. And with us this morning is Jeff Brandt, Technical Application Engineer at Tolomatic back in Hamel.
Morning, everybody.
Well, we can get into this right away this morning here. If we can get this to move for me, there we go. Well, this morning we're going to be talking about rod style actuators. This is part 1 in the series of rod style. This morning we'll be focusing primarily on RSA, GSA, RSX style actuators. Tolomatic does have the widest range of electric rod style actuators, and the electric product has been a primary growth driver at Tolomatic, especially in the area of pneumatic and hydraulic conversion. RSA series is configurable up to 60 inches of stroke, and the RSA series will also do about 13,000 pounds of thrust, and the larger RSX series up to 50,000 pounds of thrust. So we truly do have a applicable product for hydraulic conversion. Different IP ratings, and of course Acme ball and Tolomatic roller screw options for the screw technology. Jeff is going to be talking about how to select rod style actuators, and I'll kind of turn this part over to Mr. Brandt.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. So also, I guess before we get too deep into this, I just wanted to let everybody know, if you do have any questions at any point in time throughout this webinar, feel free to use the chat or the Q&A function down there. Both of those should be, well, we'll try and hit those questions, I guess, maybe near the end, we'll answer some of those, but if at any point in time you do have a question, please feel free to let us know. Like Bob was saying, there's a lot of things that need to be taken into account when you are selecting your rod style actuator. And I know we've gone through some webinars already with this, sort of this kind of background on how to in selecting an actuator. And please feel free to check those out on our website, the ToloTalks link. But for now, we'll kind of hit the main points here. The biggest determining factor for a rod style actuator is, which one you're going to select is probably going to be the environment. Looking at the IP ratings and what kind of material the actuator is made out of. The other thing to consider, when you're looking at the actuator is the specs of the peak speed and the maximum thrust capability. Generally, you're not going to be able to achieve both at the same time. So generally with a higher speed, there's a lower force, and vice versa. With a higher force, there's a lower speed. So it's something to take into account, try to figure out that balance. And those will kind of help build your duty cycle, and we can kind of determine from there which actuator will be appropriate for you. The other thing to consider would be the life expectancy, and we can touch on that a little later on with some of the roller screw options that do lead to a longer life. And then the last thing that I like to make sure as I'm sizing the application is the design footprint. So how is this going to fit in your system as a whole? And making sure that we're not going beyond any space constraints that you might have in your system.
Yeah, be sure to look for also the Tolomatic sizing helps on the website. We do have some recorded Tolomatic sessions that will help you size actuators, but of course, we're always available to assist with sizing. You guys can reach out to Jeff or any one of our technical team for assistance in sizing product. We do want to right size the actuator, especially when we're replacing pneumatic or hydraulic applications, as the electric product is more expensive, and we want to be right sized for the app. Having it be 2 sizes too big is definitely not going to help your sales process. With a pneumatic actuator, you can always go up a 1/4 inch size, bore size, and it really doesn't affect the price that much. But sizing an electric actuator, going from one size to the next, is a significant price increase. So we want to make sure we're competitive and the customer is getting the product for the work required. So to that point, if you need assist, this sheet that we have to the right here, the electric rod style actuator application worksheet, is a way to help our team get the information necessary to do a proper sizing. This sheet is available. You can reach out to Tolomatic directly for this, and it's just kind of handy to keep when you're discussing applications with your potential customer there. So,
and the hope with this worksheet is that, you know, if you do come to a member of our applications engineering team here, where we have a wide support system, everybody should be covered by primary support. And if not, there's always one of us to help back up. And the big thing with the worksheet is if you do come to us, that's the one thing that we ask, is that we have that information from you. And it also is a handy worksheet to bring along on a sales call. If sometimes, if you're getting into the sales process and starting out, and I guess even for some more of the experienced vets, you would say it's a good reminder of just making sure that you're hitting all the talking points and covering all the information that we would need. And hopefully, as we can help guide you through the sizing process. Maybe it'll make it easier for you on sales calls to start getting a preliminary idea out there as well.
Right, it's a great way to be the pro and the real resource to your customer also. So look for these sheets, and of course all the other how-to and helps that are available from the Tolomatic website. So as we discussed, we do have the widest range of electric rod style actuators, and typically, if you look at the market potential, rod style actuators do offer the highest potential out there for your customers. Growth in rod style actuators in 2021 will probably be in the 7 to 10% price or range, 7 to 10% growth range, and it's just a great toolkit to have with your when you do your presentations at your customer site. So RSA and GSA, it really is the workhorse for Tolomatic. It is our highest selling product. We do have 6 sizes here. Also available in the GSA, which is the guided version, and the high torque version, starting in the 24 frame size. These are aluminum housed product, IP ratings of IP67. Force capabilities up to 13,000 pounds of thrust. For our distributor partners, we do have a very nice demo with the ACSI integrated motor controller and an RSA 24 actuator. It's always a good talking point to have these with you when you're discussing rod style electric actuators with your customers. And again, several screw technologies, the Acme screw, either a Delrin nut or a bronze nut to prevent back driving. Ball nuts, either external or internal return ball nuts. When we talk about environment, that's an important point. If we're discussing putting actuators in an environment where you have guys with lab coats walking around, we want to make sure the actuator is quiet. So we'd use an internal return ball there, or either a roller screw. And the roller screws, again, are Tolomatic product. So something to consider when delivery time is important. We can usually get those roller screw actuators out in 4 weeks. The RSA family, as we mentioned, is 6 sizes, 2 series, the standard torque version and the high torque version. You can see the force ranges available in each. Speeds up to 62 inches a second, stroke lengths up to 60 inches. But again, speed and stroke lengths will vary The speed will vary based on the stroke length because you can't get the 62 inches a second in the very, very long stroke lengths. And that's when working with Jeff and our team will be very helpful. The HT series does have the roller screw options, and our roller screws do have the highest dynamic load ratings, which relate to long life. And of course, your motor here compatible. Big positive for Tolomatic product is customer can use the motor and controller system that they're familiar with. And these are great actuators for the fluid power conversion, either pneumatic or hydraulic. You can see the complexity difference there in the graphics on the bottom right. What's required for a hydraulic system versus a straight electric system. The simplicity is evident in the picture on the right. And when we're talking about replacing a hydraulic unit, we're not talking actuator for actuator. We're talking system for system. So on the website, we do have helps for making that sales argument, and that's all readily available to you from Tolomatic. So the guided version of the RSA is the GSA actuator, available in the 12 to 32 sizes, and then different bearing surfaces based on the application. And I believe we may have one of these to show, Jeff. Is that on our table here? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So I guess for starters, just wanted to touch on, these are two examples of the RSAs that Bob had mentioned. As we get a little closer here, this is going to be, we're looking here at RSA 32 for both of these. This shows our reverse parallel or RP mount, and should give you a good idea of, that these are your motor here capable, as well as this inline actuator, kind of a beast here with a gear head on there, and the ACSI. But again, this should hope to reinforce some of that your motor here flexibility. And then in terms of the GSA series, I have that here. This is a larger framed, larger size GSA 32. You can see the two guide rods on the side here and here. And as Bob had in the PowerPoint there, these have different mounting options than your RSA series does. That's primarily because GSAs can frequently be mounted with this guide body here on this plate. There are some threaded holes in here that can be used for mounting, and typically allow for a bit smoother installation when you're integrating this into your system.
Yeah, great option for a Z and a multi-axis application there. And we will. Sorry about the delay here getting the screens back up. And there we go. So RSA features, one thing to remember with the RSA is we do have the grease zerk that is on the front of the actuator for putting lubrication directly into the screw. Very nice to have that option, especially when you consider some of our competitors in the electric market area. They do require disassembly to re-lube. So this does make it very convenient for your customer, and another selling point for your sales argument. Heavy internal bumpers, and you'll notice the white pucks on there. It does have an internal anti-rotate, which is very nice, not have to worry about adding anti-rotate. The RP version does use either a poly chain or standard belt, and these things are extremely strong. We also use these in the RSX series that we'll be talking about in a couple minutes here.
And really quick, just to hit on that last picture Bob had up. I know Bob brought it up, but it's something that I really like to reiterate as I'm sizing an application, and that's with the RSA series, that internal anti-rotate is a standard option. It really makes a difference in applications. When we're talking RSA 12 all the way up to the 64, even in the HT series, it really adds. It can be a big difference in a sale when you're trying to eliminate external guidance, and it helps clean up and kind of add a little bit more to the aesthetic of the system.
Makes it a great press style actuator. So we mentioned that we have several nut and screw options: solid nut, the Acme screw, the ball nut, bronze nut, and then of course the Tolomatic roller screw. Screws are manufactured at Tolomatic, and if your customer does require a roller screw, having the Tolomatic product readily available versus looking at 12 to 20 some weeks to get a screw from some of the other manufacturers is a real benefit. So long life and very, very high thrust for size. And remember, the bronze nut also, if a break is not wanted in the application, our BZ bronze nuts are great for low or no back driving. Eliminates the require for an electronic brake.
And then just to touch on, Bob had mentioned kind of two of our more specialty nuts, I guess. But the ball screw, that is a standard. It's a favorite around here. Long life. It does provide higher efficiency and at more moderate speeds. If you are looking for a higher speed, with maybe a little bit of a lower duty cycle and or a little bit less of life expectancy, we can look at a solid nut, like Bob had mentioned. That is typically a quieter nut as well, and that can be used. If the application presents itself, that it's another great option to implement.
Yeah, another great reason for filling out that rod style worksheet. We talk about environment, and that'll help size the appropriate actuator. Nothing's worse than getting an actuator into an environment that might need to be very, very quiet. I think we've all experienced that, and we do have the technology where if we select the right product, we can get a very, very quiet operating system. And back and forth. There we go. So on the sheet there, the environment at the top is always one to consider, and that helps Jeff out substantially in selecting the right product. So we call this the industrial workhorse, and we look at the options for mounting and for rod ends. These are the standard options that are available. And the one thing to note too, Tolomatic does do modified standards. We are a privately held company, and if it makes sense for your customer to modify a product, we will be happy to look at that and see if it's something that would be effective for both Tolomatic, for you, and for your customer. Inline and reverse parallel mounting shown there. And again, everything at Tolomatic is configurable stroke length. So rather than having set strokes of 2, 4, 8, 6, we can do 2.5 inch, 2 1/4 inch, whatever the application requires. And of course, the Your Motor Here program, allowing your customer to maintain the controls that they're familiar with. A lot of great arguments versus the competition for you guys to present when we're trying to win new business. I'll let Jeff, if you want to talk on this, Jeff, the HT option for the RSAs.
Yeah, definitely, and I think this is going to be a pretty good graphic to remember to have in mind. If you're out in the field or a customer has a call and they're saying, okay, this RSA looks like it's going to be a good fit. Why do I need this HT? What does that do? So the HT will allow you to have a longer life. We use roller screws in the HT. The HT series is available in every size, starting at the 24 and up. So we have the 24, the 32, 50, and 64 there. All of those have the HT option, and those usually come with a bit more robust of a coupler and or pulleys and timing belt system there, as well as a modified bearing arrangement with high capacity bearings that allow for much higher force. And in addition, these have, or some of more of the standard YM codes allow for keyed motors and gearboxes with the HT series. And the keyed motor and gearbox is actually required for the HT series. That's just to make sure, that alignment is correct, and to prevent any sort of nightmare scenario with standard, maybe just as simple as a collar clamp or something a little more simplistic from a coupling side of things. So the other kind of key selling point, more of a pressing type application, is going to be the grease zerk that Bob had mentioned earlier. It really, really helps when it comes to the preventative maintenance schedule and relubrication. And if you are curious at all about what the relubrication schedule might look like, if it is a little bit more of a demanding application, please do contact one of our application engineers. If it's a press application, there's some different formulas that we can use, and we can look at your application specifically so that we can get you a recommendation personalized to you, and that should help extend the life of the actuator.
Right, and force is available in the RSA series with the HT option up to 13,000 pounds of thrust. So one of the application wins that was really interesting. We may have shown this before, but just because it does involve fast race cars is kind of fun. This is a wind tunnel test for IndyCar type race vehicles, and wind tunnel application for determining downforce and wing placement on the vehicle. We used RSA 24s in this application, and just a great win all around. 115 of these went into this system, so it's very appropriate. Long life, and testing for this type of application is just one of the more unique and interesting apps at Tolomatic. So the pricing and some of the other challenges were easily met with the product. We were able to compete with competitors selling direct. We still went through our distribution channel, and just a great win all the way around, and one of the more interesting applications at Tolomatic. We also do these type applications for aerospace industry, and it's just a very very complete system from Tolomatic, and really help the customer achieve what they were looking for.
And really quick, Bob, if you don't mind, I guess we're still on this project here, but it was kind of the interesting scenario, and we kind of had to work backwards almost with this one, because they had a specific servo motor that they were wanting to continue using, and that's where our YMH program came in handy. There was, we were able to match that up directly, and we kind of worked backwards, sizing an actuator to fit the motor that they had. So kind of shows some of that flexibility that we can provide with the YMH program.
Right. Very good. Another application in the food industry, walking beams are typically, hydraulic. Nobody really wants, hydraulic fluid, even food grade hydraulic fluid on their food in general. Just not a nice thought. These applications seem to be moving quickly to electric applications. In the food industry, typically the standard RSA isn't one we would recommend, but this was away from the food product itself, and provided just a great solution for this meat processor. The walking beam kind of pulls and slides, the product through various stages of dressing in the chilling process, and the nice part about the electric actuator in a cold environment is you don't have the sluggishness that hydraulics are subject to in the cold. So there's a lot of good argument for electric applications in the food industry, especially in cold or in high heat applications. You have consistent movement, and you're not subject to the variations experienced with hydraulics. The maintenance goes down to almost zero with the electric product. It's kind of a when it's sized by our Tolomatic engineering team. Typically, we're duty cycle for life of the application. So very effective, especially in the cold and high temperatures. So it's interesting when you have a customer that allows a beta site test. This application enabled us to do that. We work with our distributor directly with the customer, and we're able to supply them with an RSA HT. Eliminated the hydraulic leaks, contamination, all of the maintenance and operating costs that goes with that. The ability to work with Tolomatic on a modified standard product allowed the actuator to fit in the footprint of the existing hydraulic system. And of course, we appreciate the local distribution partner support and the Your Motor Here program. So you can see the result down there, quantity of 100 actuators sold. Very, very nice application and great Tolomatic win.
And I think that application really showed a good idea and representation of the support that Tolomatic can provide. That was an application that took, this wasn't a short sales cycle of 1 month. This was a bit of a longer sales cycle. There were some iterations, there was some working through, but it's one thing. And again, Bob mentioned the YMH program, and I know you guys are probably sick of hearing that. It sounds like we're a broken record, but it is something that can make a difference in the sales process, allowing that customization and really kind of help through that iterating process.
Right. Some of the additional applications that have been great wins, timber industry, metalworking, metal forming, tube bending type applications, security barrier lift gates, vehicle simulators in general, a very good application for RSA. In the security barrier section here, we do have a video of the lift arm here. That's a typical application in the security industry, and great hydraulic conversion application. Jeff, do you have anything you wanted to add on that one?
Oh, I think that was good.
Yep. So moving to the next series, the RSX, which is forces that are true hydraulic force capabilities, up to 50,000 pounds of force. This is Tolomatic's extreme high force hydraulic replacement actuator, aluminum and steel components, again IP67, very high dynamic load ratings using Tolomatic roller screws, and a variety of mounting options for the RSX. This one is just a beast of an actuator. You can see from the graphic on the screen right now, roller screw technology. We do have breather ports, purge ports in the system, and of course a lube access port for re-greasing the screw. In the high force systems, when you're sizing, and Jeff can probably expand on this, heat is a real issue here. So when we're pushing very, very high forces, the amount of contact on that screw from the roller screw is substantial, and heat is generated. We've done a lot of testing at Tolomatic with our roller screw product, and When it comes to sizing these actuators, you definitely want to get our team members involved to help you out. Jeff, do we have a sample of one of these available to show?
Yeah, we do. And if you want to stop sharing this,
Yep.
hopefully we'll give an idea of the scale of this unit. I was trying to be a little sneaky here, and when, as Bob would come, I'd already have the demo up, but I think this is maybe a little bit more of give you a better idea of scale. This is one of our RSX
You just
units.
want to show everybody how strong you are.
This is a joke. I'm making this look heavy. It's all the guts are out of this, but this should give you just an idea of the sheer size of this unit that we have. And like Bob had mentioned, it is very, very important to work with us when we're sizing this. Again, this is another instance of we can come up with some more personalized relubrication recommendations based on your duty cycle, based on the force that you're using. And we can kind of look at the thermal limits, which is going to be the most important thing for these RSX units and for a unit of this size. As Bob had mentioned, we do have the purge port and the lube port here on the side for easy access for that relubrication. Because, the thing is a mammoth, and reassembly and disassembly is not recommended outside of Tolomatic. So we wanted to make it easy for your customers to relubricate, and this feature does a pretty good job, and I think it helps separate, Tolomatic actuators from some of the competition.
It's also a terrific sell too. You get an OEM that's purchasing several of these a month, and it just does a great well, let me put it this way: it'll make your sales manager very, very pleased when they see the numbers come in. They're very effective for your end customer. Just an all-around terrific product. It's been a great tool for Tolomatic and for our customer base. We have these in multiple applications. I think this has probably been one of the best product releases we've had, the high force for hydraulic conversion. But the thing that's nice about this is you're going against a few competitors. Very, very few of our competitors can really compete with the RSX. You look at the real numbers and the work that is being done by this product. We really stand out versus the competition. So don't be afraid to get our team involved with this. Like I said, it does provide a great service for your customer. One quick story was we had one owner of a business who was listening constantly to the hydraulic pressure unit turning on and off and on and off, and the noise was just driving him crazy. And he ended up switching out for electric actuators in his plant just to get rid of that constant noise. Along with that, of course, is the cost. We have great tools, sales arguments for replacing hydraulic on the website, and we can help you out. All the RSMs, regional sales managers, and our technical team can assist with this process. Because the actuators are expensive, we do want to make sure these are right sized. And again, Tolomatic team is very proficient in making sure your customer gets the right product. So we do have 3 sizes, 4 models of the RSX, the RSX 80 and 96, and then the 96 press model. The difference with the press model, it is a actuation at force in one direction, either press or pull. So same size actuator, 30,000 versus 40,000 pounds of force, but it is not bidirectional. It's a single direction application. So perfect for hydraulic press or C-frame press type applications. And then of course the RSX 128, which is just a behemoth of an actuator, but a true 50,000 pounds of force available. So again, using the Tolomatic roller screw product, all manufactured at Tolomatic. Configurable strokes, a little bit shorter, up to 35 inches, and of course your motor here compatible. The one graphic on the bottom, the white version of this, the RSX96 white epoxy actuator with stainless steel, is the food grade version of the RSX series. Just a terrific application for pumping type applications in food process. So don't forget that that's available. Then the RSX96P, this unit has been out for a while, as we mentioned, single direction, terrific for C-frame presses. Just a terrific product for aerospace, any pressing application, pressing fasteners, that kind of thing. It's just a very, very effective tool for replacing hydraulics. And then, of course, the white paint version we discussed. And another application win using RSX actuators. This is the automotive industry, and it was actually for press assembly of brakes. And I think we can say that it's was used on a pickup truck, one of the more popular pickup trucks sold in the United States. And customer, we were challenged with needing extremely long life, durability, that type of thing. And the RSX series of actuator was one that provided that. We were able to consider all the heat issues with the force and speeds. Working with the customer, our inside technical staff was able to really provide good information to the customer, and it's been a very, very good application for this particular plant. So you can see the actuators up on the top there, rod in down in a press application. Customer did come to Tolomatic, which is a real winner. Right now, it's a little bit strained with the COVID issue. Hopefully, we're through this soon. But every time we bring a customer to Tolomatic, where they can see our people, how we work, it is a great tool to consider. So if you do have an application that we need to instill confidence in the customer, that's a great way to do it. Bring them to Tolomatic, meet our people, see how we build the product. It's a very effective tool in winning the sale. So the benefit, was the roller screws with our extreme durability, the highest dynamic load ratings in the industry. Customer, because of the need for long life, was willing to pay for a larger product than the force that was required, but it did work out very, very well. And of course, the Your Motor Here program made it a great win. And along with that, we were able to pull in other Tolomatic products, our ERD, RSAs, the rodless actuators, MXB and B3Ws and MXPs. So just a terrific win all the way around. So another one, we work in every industry. This was a company down in Texas. They do metal forming and bending. Their primary business is selling fencing for livestock industry, and very, very effective, changing from hydraulic to electric actuators. So. And again, the sales process and the benefits of the RSX definitely won the day there. So, and again, we were able to pull in additional Tolomatic product for the application. So one thing we like to talk about is the value of electric actuator systems. The one issue is you'll always receive it, or the customer will want to discuss, is the price of actuator per actuator. And as we mentioned earlier, it is not the actuator that we're selling versus the hydraulic. It's the system versus the hydraulic. So you can see on the left-hand graphic what the hydraulic cylinder systems looks like. And the one thing not to forget that's not shown there are the hoses and fittings that are necessary in the hydraulic system, which are not inexpensive pieces. So when you take the systems as a whole compared together, then you have a sales argument. Along with the precise speed control, acceleration, force control, the motion flexibility, the accuracy, and then you talk about the component simplicity versus the hydraulic system, the environmental concerns, the contamination risk that goes down, the leak issue. I mean, every one of us has seen a hydraulic system where you have cat sand underneath the machine to soak up the hydraulic leaks. It's just becoming less and less acceptable, and hydraulic fluid leaks now are considered hazardous waste. So this is something that directly affects the customer in the cost area. We are more efficient, green type application, less energy required. Typically, hydraulic systems are in the 40% efficiency range, with electric being in the 80%. So little or no maintenance, quiet operation. And again, not to forget the hot and cold environmental effectiveness of the electric actuator. Jeff, you have anything you wanted to add here? Because I think we're about over time right about now.
Yeah, I was just going to say quick, again, that was, I think, a good overview of kind of that comparison there. But another shameless plug, please do go check out, our other ToloTalks. I know we have an entire ToloTalk dedicated to replacing hydraulic systems. It will be worth your while. And I did also want to say thanks for joining us today. We're continuing to try to produce good content, valuable content, even if it is just a refresher for you. If you are one of our more experienced distributor partners, that's great. For those newer ones, we love to have you spending time and kind of working together with us.